Hello, hello, I'm Tanya Dalton, and this is another episode of Tanya TV. Today I want to talk to you about bringing together a group of people to be your support system. And one of the best ways to do that is through a book club. You see, book clubs are about more than just reading books. Sure, it's a great way to be able to read more, but really it creates a sense of community, a group of people who want to come together to share experiences, to support each other, to laugh and to cry, and to encourage us as we continue to grow and evolve. I remember my very first book club that I started back when my son Jack was first born. I was a new mom and I was overwhelmed and exhausted. And I looked around and I felt like everybody else seemed to have it all together. All the other moms seemed like they were doing it all well. And I thought, this certainly can't be how it is for everyone else but me. So I decided to curate a group of women to come together. And I wanted to have experiences with them where I could be real, where I could let go of the Pinterest-worthy version of my life and truly strip aside the facades of perfection and dive into who I was as a mother, as a wife, as a person. So we met once a month, and that group of women became my support system, as I continued to become then a second-time mom when my daughter Kate was born. And as we experienced joys and sadness in our lives, we were there for one another. So I want to talk to you today about how to start a successful book club, because I really believe this is one of the best ways to get started. And don't worry, I've got a download to make this process even easier. So here's the key anytime we're trying to start something new. We want it to be successful, but we also don't want it to be stressful. So I've got 5 tips to really help you start a successful book club. Tip number 1 is to define the purpose. We always start with why. That's always our foundation. So what's the underlying reason for this group you're trying to pull together? Is it connecting new moms together? Is it growing your business? Maybe it's connecting and socializing with neighbors, or keeping in contact with people who live far away. Is there a tone or is there a theme? Do you want it to be more social and fun or more academic and informational? Thinking through what the purpose is for your group really does help you decide what the group is going to be about. It also can help you decide whether you want your group to be online or in person, or maybe even a combination of both. Step number 2, decide who to invite. Now, don't undervalue this step because it actually affects everything. It affects how your group will run, how often you'll meet, and everything else. And I like to say that a good size for a book club is anywhere between 6 and 12 people. So that way it's large enough so you can have some great conversations, and it's not too small where if a couple of people are absent that you can't really talk about the book. So anywhere from 6 to 12 really allows for intimate conversation, yet still large enough in case people can't make it. And then think about what type of people do you want to invite. Diversity is really good. It's really good because it sparks conversation and it allows you to shift perspective. So let's say the purpose of your group is to collect new moms and have them come together. Well, there's all different kinds of new moms. There's new moms with different backgrounds and ethnicities. There's work-at-home moms and stay-at-home moms and full-time working moms. Pull together different people to make your group really enjoy the conversation. That will really make a difference. And think about whether you want it to be all people that you know or maybe some people that you don't know. If you're looking to find new people that you don't know, you can try posting a note at your library saying you're starting a book club. Or if you're doing it online, think about checking out Goodreads and doing a posting in there about starting a book club. Step 3, choose when and where. This is why that second step was really important, because who you have in your group affects when and where you can meet. You have to think through childcare requirements, job requirements, because if you're meeting about business, it might be really difficult to meet during the day. Or if you're meeting with other new moms, it might be hard to meet during bedtime and maybe it needs to happen later in the evening. You'll need to meet with your group and decide when and where really works for you. Now, picking that first date can be a challenge because it can be a little bit like herding cats. You can use a free poll online to try to find that first date, and at that first meeting, sit down and figure out when do we want to meet and moving forward. And you can make it really easy. Make it the 3rd Tuesday or every 2nd Saturday. But doing it that way allows people to go ahead and mark it down on their calendar as a priority, and that way they can plan around it. So that's one of the easiest ways to do it, especially if you're meeting once a month. You'll also want to think through, how do you communicate between meetings? Do you want to set up a private Facebook group? Do you want to have a group text or a Voxer group? What's going to work for you? Now here's what I want you to let go of. Let go of the idea that you have to create these cute little invitations for every monthly meeting. Now, if you enjoy that, great. Absolutely feel free to do it. But if that feels like that would be a stress, let it go. It's really easy to just send out a group text or even use like a system or a thing like Evite or something like that online to make life easier. We want it to be fun, not stressful. Places where you can have your book club really varies. Do you want to have it in your homes? Do you want to do it somewhere public, like a rec center, or there's rooms at the library that they usually allow for book clubs, or a restaurant? Again, it's all about letting go of the stress and making it as simple as possible for you. Tip number 4, give it some structure. Is it a book a month club, or is it a book every few months? How often do you choose? So one of the things that we did with my new moms group is we rotated themes. So we divided the year into 3 sections. We did a book on marriage and relationships, and we read that for a couple of months. Then the next couple of months, we'd read a book on parenting, and then we'd spend a few months on that, and then we would do a book on self-improvement. And that way we rotated themes throughout the year. Now, I think it's really important to make sure that you're always keeping it interesting. So if you're doing fictions, you could do, classic fiction and modern day fiction, or you could do mysteries or sci-fis. What type of genres do you want to do, and do you want to rotate themes? One of the things that really helps book clubs be even more exciting is to have a discussion guide. And that was one of the things that was really important to me when I was writing The Joy of Missing Out. I wanted to have a really robust discussion guide to create conversation. So a lot of books today have these discussion guides available. A lot of times they're in the back of the book, or they may be online. That's what I did with The Joy of Missing Out, because I wanted it to be really in-depth. So you can get access to those a lot of times for free and use those as a way to structure your questions. Don't forget too to think about rotating hosts. You don't always have to be the host of your book club. Just because you started it doesn't mean you have to be in charge every single time. If you're doing a larger group, you could rotate hostess each and every month. Or you could meet, as I mentioned a minute ago, in a location like a wine bar or a restaurant or somewhere else. Just remember, you don't have to do it all. And then the 5th tip is to make it fun. It's supposed to be a fun event. So having food and drinks definitely brings people in. Everybody enjoys eating and drinking together. Stress-free entertaining, though, is really the name of the game. Again, you don't have to do it all. So you could do potluck style with a twist. Maybe you provide the main meal and everyone else provides appetizers and desserts. And don't forget to allow time for socializing. Choosing music that really ties in the theme can be another fun way. I've actually created a whole music list that goes with The Joy of Missing Out. So when you do have a book club and you want to discuss this book, it makes it a little more fun and it plays into that theme. Here's the biggest key though. Be flexible. There's going to be times where maybe the book club starts to fizzle. So try shaking things up a little bit. Try choosing shorter books or giving people more time to read. If you're finding that, you started your group thinking it was going to be a new book every month, but most months people haven't read, we might need to reshift those priorities and make it so that you have 2 or even 3 months to read a book. Think about, too, doing other things at your meeting besides talking about books. In my new mom's book club I talked about a few minutes ago, we actually had a December's favorites party where everybody chose something that was a favorite of theirs and they brought enough for the whole group. So we had 6 people in our group and everyone bought 5 things that were their favorites, and it had to be under $5. So maybe your favorite nail polish or your favorite lip gloss, things like that to make it a little more fun. You could also think about doing a book swap, or if you're reading a book that has a movie that goes along with it, one night you could watch the movie. Thinking about doing things differently from time to time really makes your book club a little more interesting and a little more exciting so that people won't want to miss. And that's really what we want. So let me ask you a question. In the comments below, tell me, have you been a part of a book club before? What was your favorite part of the book club? I think that'll help spur some ideas and interest from people thinking about starting their own. The main takeaway I want you to have from this video is that pulling people together to create a group through a book club is a great way to give a sense of community, to have a support system that's there for you in the good times and in the bad. So do keep in mind that not everyone's going to read the book every single time. Give them grace, give yourself some grace too in case you don't read the book. It's okay. Really what it's all about is pulling people together to encourage, support, and love on one another. Now, I do have a download to make this even easier for you, a blueprint to walk you through the steps of starting your own book club. So you can grab that at inkwellpress.com/book club. All right, until next time, have a beautiful and productive week. Oh, and just a quick reminder, if you haven't ordered The Joy of Missing Out yet, definitely do. It's a great book pick for your first book club. It does come with that discussion guide.